Good evening. Good evening, let me hear you. My name is Sylvia Hamilton. Please think with me for a moment about the lingering effect of brilliant artistic work on our lives. A song, a painting, a novel, a short story, a poem, a photographic image, a textile, a dance performance, a film. A work that stirred your heart, ignited your imagination, took your breath away, challenged your assumptions, your view of the world. Do you remember when that happened to you? That's the influence of the arts, the power of the imagination. My ancestors, the Black refugees of the War of 1812, had imagination in bucket loads. Otherwise, you would not see me here. They imagined a life beyond chattel slavery in Georgia, a different world with freedom, peace, dignity. Imagined for themselves, their children, and for me, a grateful beneficiary. They acted on what they could imagine. Why is it that after a certain age, we suppress our imagination? We don't think about it, don't use it, because it's not rational. It makes us appear weak, childlike. But rational thought and the imagination are twins. The social effect of creative works on people shouldn't be underestimated. The work shifts us, a full turn, half turn, quarter turn, but moves us nonetheless. That shift, that moment when we see, when we feel something different, demonstrates our imaginations at work, our imaginations unlocked. The arts call us to a higher place, one transcending age, gender, geography, language, race, ethnicity, the many boundaries we set up. Our souls and spirits are nourished, are enlarged by the artists and their work that touch something very deep within us. Their creative imaginations enrich our lives, call our attention to injustice, influence us to understand, to be empathetic, to be informed, to be affected, to create new visions of the world, to connect us to each other. Whose responsibility is it then to nurture this vital creativity in young people, to challenge them to use their imaginations throughout their entire lives? Our imaginations allow us to think beyond ourselves. We can only attempt to change the world if we can imagine it. If we can unlock and harness that power to imagine the possibilities, we can change both our own and the circumstances of other people. Be bold in your imaginings in these troubled times. Words, ideas transformed into action. Let me give you a poem, Waiting for God. Walking in Shelburne where the graveyard sits, eyeing the courthouse, where the Anglican church looks from the other side of the road, come to worship, leave to serve, in paradise or in hell, who can choose? Job asks, shall we accept good from God and not adversity? Here are the dust-caked children of Palestine, digging in the rubble to find grandma's book of stories, the baby doll and carriage, the old football, the radio, They look to God, asking, where is our state of grace? In Chibok, Nigeria, a father sits clutching his daughter's torn picture. He wept, like they say Jesus did, John 11:35, the shortest verse in the Bible. Why did they steal his girl? He longs for her to be alive in the Sambisa forest. Beside his bed, her name on a lined page, torn from her scribbler. Repeats her name every night in a whisper till sleep overtakes him. He will not eat, his wife says. Sunrise, he sits on a small chair stationed outside the door. Last night, when he went to bed, a truce. He made peace with death. We were young. We were young together. Once it was alone against the sky. Which side of the road do you want to be on, you asked. The history side or the other? Which side of the road are you on? Do you want to be on? Wait until that bend where the roads meet at the switchback. Sure, it's never easy, I said. Do we reject wrong only to think about right? But let us not compare atrocities. Let us not be consumed by guilt. Let us press our faces to wounds of history. Let us open our hearts to songs of justice, to words of peace. Our fearless imagination will keep us steady, honest, and strong. Poet Audre Lorde said, quote, "Our silence will not save us," end quote. Our imaginations transformed into actions will. Be courageous. Please, go find your key. Thanks for listening.